Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Area. Actually, more like good afternoon, but thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Sean Robert Grant, and I'm happy to be here with you on this beautiful, beautiful day. And let's just get right into it. You're an actor, not a person of desperation. And I'm going to make this really quick because I don't want to take too much of your time. What I see a lot of times, and I've been fortunate enough to be on the other side of, being a producer as well as an actor, as well as, somebody in front of the camera. And I think a lot of times what unfolds is actors just look at a job as something that they can just get and then it's on to the next one. And so, you can tell this when they're more concerned about what they're making as opposed to the details of the project. And now I get it. Trust me, I'm like, I want to be paid for everything I do. But at the same time, I know that it's important for me to figure out what kind of project I'm getting ready to embark upon. So, what happens in that sense is that it becomes more about being desperate and less about being creative. And so that has to do a lot with the energy that we're putting out as it relates to us being able to progress, because you got to remember everything you need is on the inside of you. And you always want to do jobs and take part in situations that are in complete congruence with who you are and complete congruence with your energy, and so if there's a time where, and we've all done it, some of us are still doing it, where you feel like, oh, you know what? It's a lot of money for this gig. Let me just take it and see what it's all about. Sometimes you got to be careful because you might not know what you're getting yourself into. And then all of a sudden it kind of blows up in your face. So what I'm saying is, it becomes a situation of where we don't have to be desperate. If we truly believe in the universe and its ability to just allow life to work for us, all of our needs will be met. All of our needs will be met. And if all of our needs are met, then we can focus on being who we truly want to be and focus on doing what we want to do and love. And so when that happens, then you have creative control. See, too many times I think we get into it for the wrong reasons. And I really wanted to talk about this because, this is something you have to deal with in the beginning, because if your motives aren't right, you're going to fizzle out. And you always have to check and see, what are your motives, right? What are your motives for wanting to be an actor? What are your motives for wanting to be creative? What are your motives for wanting to go to audition after audition and drive across town to go do a job? If it's not pure, if it's not from the soul, we're barking up the wrong tree. And so I'm not saying that that's you or any of you listening. All I'm saying is just be clear on that. Okay. Be clear on those rather. And then just remember, you want stuff that's going to put you in the very best light possible. Okay. You want stuff that's going to amplify you as an actor. You just don't want to see the first thing on, Backstage or LA casting or New York castings or Craigslist or whatever sites it is that's out there. You just don't want to see the first thing and just submit just because you fit the bill. Read the entire description. See what the character is about. See if you can find yourself embodying that character completely. See if it's something that you can relate to, that's something that sparks something inside of you, and then proceed. Okay? And trust me, when you do this, when you take the time out to do this, what happens is you allow the better jobs to come to you because you're not just taking anything. And I try and I do my best to teach that, and a lot of actors get it, but some just don't. Some look at it as, well, you know what? It's a job, and a job is a job is a job is a job. Well, it's almost like you being the very best musician, and you're really good at what you've done. You've worked hard. You've honed in on your craft, and then all of a sudden somebody gives you a job, playing the drums when you're the piano person. And it's just like, it makes absolutely complete no sense because you don't know a thing about the drums, but yet and still, because it's paying, it pays a good bit of money. You decide, I might as well take it because the money's good. So let's just get out of thinking, the money's good. Let's put out into the universe the energy of this. I'm going to manifest the best jobs for me that are in my highest good, that are on the same energy wavelength as me, that are allowing me to be a better actor, a better person, that are challenging me, that are helping me to become who I want to be, not only in my career, but in my life. And just let that sink in and say that all the time. You don't even have to say it out loud, but say it to yourself and start bringing in those jobs that you can really be proud of. Early on in my career, I did some stuff that I hope to this day would never reach the surface because it's just embarrassing, but it paid a good bit of cash, so I decided to do it. But then looking back on it, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But, you live and you learn. Well, you hope you live and you learn, and you continue to get better at how you approach it. Now, I'm like dissecting every script. If anything sounds ridiculous, or, like it's not something that would be in my best interest to devote my time to, I don't do it, no matter what it is, sometimes there's like stuff that comes across my table that's thousands of dollars, but it's just not for me. Case in point, I remember my agent sent me a breakdown for Straight Outta Compton, and it was one of the roles that it was called Sorry Bastard or something like that. And the only reason I got this role or got requested for was because I had a headshot where I was really, really bowed up, really muscular and bald. And that's exactly what they were looking for. And they saw that headshot and they wanted to call me in for it. And, it's a union film. It's paying pretty well. You get residuals off the top of it. As you know, it's been successful. But I meditated and I asked myself, is this in my highest good? And it wasn't anywhere close. And I know my agent was upset, but I shot it down. I told him, look, this is not in congruence with my brand, so I'm going to have to pass. And he was upset, but he got over it. But I felt better about it. Now, would you know, I saw that film and I saw that role, and the guy who played it was absolutely, completely obliterated socially in that regard by the actor playing Suge Knight. So I'm like, oh gosh, I made the right choice. Definitely made the right choice. So what I'm telling you is, as an actor, you don't have to be desperate. You don't have to put yourself out there and do just any kind of role or anything that's coming your way. Take your time. Really see if it resonates with you. And if it does, proceed forward. If not, trust. There are millions and millions of roles out there, millions and millions of ones being created. You will find the right one for you. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a pleasure. As always, have a wonderful Tuesday. We'll talk soon. Take care.